So this is going to be a tips and tricks video. And the subject matter of this video is how to use cheap cosmetics. And what I mean by cheap is like product brands that when you think of them, you think of like low quality, generic, and not just think of them that way, like they live up to that. Does that make sense? Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is eyeliner. And this is these are my black eyeliners, and I'm just going to pick, yeah, this is perfect. Now this is a Claire's black eyeliner. And when you apply it, okay, so it looks good, right? But watch this. Smudges horribly. So my trick for using cheap eyeliner is to go over it with just a matte black shadow and a liner brush. And just press that on there like this. That way, not only does it make the color darker, but it also seals it. And that's what I do with all of my eyeliners that are lower quality, and they kind of smudge easily, and it makes them stay. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is using cheap eyeshadow. And oftentimes I'll see something, it'll be like $1, and I'll be like, wow, you know, I have to get that. It's $1. Okay. And what I mean by cheap eyeshadow is maybe it's not very pigmented. You're kind of just upset with the general texture of it. It's kind of chalky. It's not up to your expectations. It's not what you were expecting. And I'm going to show you how to make that work. I have two tips and tricks for that. Okay, my first one is kind of obvious, and I'll be demonstrating with this LA color palette today. These eyeshadows are really chalky. They did not live up to my expectations, and I'm just generally disappointed. I really didn't have expectations, but I mean, when you buy something, you expect it to at least be, you know what I mean. Okay, so I'm going to be using this purple color. So in the package, it looks nice, right? It looks purpley, like a pastel, cute little purple. And this is what it looks like on your finger. So then I go to apply it, and the pigment like runs away. It is no longer that pretty purple. So what I suggest using is using an eyeshadow base. And I know, like, well, duh, you use an eyeshadow base. But I just wanted to make this video for people who are basically kind of beginning in makeup or just don't know these things, because I needed to know these things when I started with makeup, but I didn't. So anyways, you apply the base and I press that color on there, and voila, you are back to that pretty pastel purple you thought was the original. And I just think that's super cool. Okay, so my next trick for using cheap eyeshadow is to use it with a wet brush. So you just get a little bit of liquid. A little bit. What was that? A little bit of liquid. And swirl it around in there. And apply it. And this just makes it apply so much better. It makes the color so much stronger. Okay, so this is with the base. The light's kind of washing the color out. And then this is where I did it wet. And you can see it's just so much stronger. The pigment's just so much better. And it's not chalky at all. So that's what I recommend doing with cheap eyeliners. Okay. Next, cheap mascaras. Ugh, everybody hates getting clumps in their lashes. Well, I do. I know a lot of people who do. And I really don't have any cheap mascaras on hand. Oh, I do. I lied. What I recommend doing with cheap mascaras. This is just a Claire's mascara, a little cheap one that comes in the sets. And I keep these because I'm one of those people who don't like to waste things, whether they're cheap, whether they were 2 cents, 5 cents, $20. I just don't like to waste things. It makes me feel, well, bad. Okay, so what I recommend doing with cheap mascaras is 3 things. And I really can't demonstrate these things because I'm already wearing mascara, which I probably should have done that. Anyways, I recommend either like applying the mascara and then going back in with an eyelash brush, and that makes it look a lot better. Another thing to do with cheap mascara is definitely curl your lashes, because with some mascaras you can get away with not curling your lashes and it'll still look good, but with cheap mascaras you definitely have to curl your lashes. Also, another thing I suggest doing is just using the cheap mascara, building it up a little bit, and then going back over it with a mascara you know works correctly. That's what I do, and it works for me. And then you can use the product without having to waste it, and without going around with, like, clump lashes. Okay, the last thing I'm going to talk about is... I totally just had a moment where I didn't remember anything. Oh, okay. Cheap lip gloss. And that's like the lip gloss that you get that promises to have pigment, and it doesn't. This one is really not a just like save all sort of tip, but it's a tip nonetheless, and it's what I do. And I just wanted to share it with people. If you get a lip gloss, now this, I'm not saying this is one of them. This is the first one I grabbed. And you expect it to be this pretty color right here in this tube because it promises pigment. My nails look horrible, sorry. And it's not. I suggest layering it over lipstick. I cannot tell you how much that makes a difference. I mean, just use it. Basically, what I'm trying to communicate with this video is use the things you don't like, because you can always find little tips and tricks to make them work for you. Okay, hope this video was enjoyable. Tell me your tips and tricks. Okay, talk to you later. Bye.